research the risks just like professional investors do. Now, professional investors and retail investors all have access to information at the same time, as I mentioned earlier. Now, there's two sources I want you to go to research the risks and learn more about companies. One is sec.gov, and I'll talk about international equivalents in a second. And the other one is investor relations for each company. So let me kick it off with sec.gov. So the way it works, and let's go there together, is if you're actually listed on a big market, you have to actually submit your quarterly report and your annual report and a bunch of other legal information and qualitative and quantitative information to the governing body's website of that market. In the US, it's the sec.gov, that's Securities and Exchange Commission.gov. In your country, if it's not America, please do a search on what is the SEC equivalent in your country's name. So in Canada, it's something called CEDAR. Okay, so now that we're at sec.gov, I'm going to click here on company filings. Okay, and then what I'll do is I'll enter in the ticker of a company that we want to do research on. And we're going to be researching the risks of a company. Okay, so let's enter in Meta, which is the ticker for Facebook. Okay, now before you invest in any IPO, okay, or any company, what I want you to do is I want you to read their financial documents. Now, in the United States, the quarterly report is called the 10Q, the annual report is called the 10K, and the IPO document before you invest in a company is called the S1. And so back in 2012, when I worked in the hedge fund industry years ago, I invested in Facebook's IPO, and I had this document in my hand to read. This is called the S1. I'll show you how to get it here. Okay, and we're going to search for the word risk. Okay, so right here, I go to view filings. I'm going to clear this, and I'm going to start a new search here, and I will search for the S1. Okay, that's the document for companies that go public. Okay, and you'll see a bunch of them. So they filed to go public. This is under my head here in February of 2001 or 2012. And then they had an amended version of this S1 document up here. This is from May 16th, which is what you see on the cover here. If you zoom in, you probably can't see it. All right, so this document here that was in my hand is exactly what you see here. And so you can read through this if you want to. You can do a search on the word risks if you want. There's 29 matches. If I make it singular, there's 73 matches. You can click through and read all about the risks on this company, Facebook. Meta now, I guess, is the new ticker. And there's a lot of other financial stuff you can read through as well. I teach you about financial statement analysis and much more in my MBA degree program. Okay, so another place you can go to get information about publicly traded companies is each company has their own investor relations website. And if they're big companies, it's internal. Okay, if it's a tiny company, they outsource it to companies like the Blue Shirt Group here in Shallow Alto, where I live. Okay, let's do a search on investor relations. Okay, and Facebook. Okay, so this here will take us to Facebook's investor relations website, and right here, what you can do is you can watch investor events if you want to. You can also watch a webcast of the annual shareholder meeting. All that stuff. Tons of other reports are here to help you understand how to invest in Facebook. And you can always call investor relations as well and get them on the phone to help you. They're there to serve you, the investor. And don't think just because you're a retail investor, you can't call them. I call them all the time, and so can you. Just don't leave voicemails, get them live.